Here's the National Thunderstorm Outlook. This is issued by the Storm Prediction Center, which are our national meteorologists that specialize in where strong storms will hit. They have most of our viewing area in a slight risk of their 5 potential options. This is number 2. Marginal is number 1, and that's where our southeastern counties like Shenango and the very southeastern tip of Madison County are today. So this is why we're keeping an eye on this. Now, again, I can't stress this enough. Our timing for these storms has changed a little bit. I initially thought that these were going to move through in the late afternoon. Before we even talk about those storms, we may see a few isolated small showers. This morning on Triple Doppler, brought to you by RomanoCars.com, you can see a little bit of activity through the southern Finger Lakes, a few sprinkles now into Onondaga County. This is all allowing an approaching warm front. More moisture off to the west. As this does move through, we will up the chance for a stray shower. Very isolated and hit or miss. I think most of us stay dry through the morning. But once this does start to push to the north, we turn quickly very humid and we'll get a strong southerly breeze that will continue to bring heat and humidity into central New York during the day today. It's when this cold front meets this humid air mass, it's going to be over us for most of the day. That's when we're a little bit concerned for some active storms and some strong winds. In fact, when we look at the overall impacts of any storms that do pop up within the next 24 hours, strong, potentially damaging winds are our main concern. I think some of us will see heavy rain, but not a lot of us. And I think the threat for hail and tornadoes are very low during the course of the next 24 hours. So let me time it out for you hour by hour with a futurecast. Just a disclaimer, this is one of many models that we look at, and I think it gets the right idea, but the location is a little off. I think it nails it for this morning. A few spotty showers, Syracuse and places south and east as that warm front moves through. Then temperatures are off to the races. We're starting off in the mid-60s this morning. We'll finish off in the upper 80s and with a ton of humidity, a lot of moisture in the air. And that's why in the afternoon it'll feel more like the upper 80s to, I'm thinking, lower 90s. So all of our heat disclaimers are into effect. Make sure you stay hydrated. And if you're going out to be active, listen to your body because we will be in the heat of things by the afternoon and early evening. Notice Futurecast keeps us mainly dry through 5 o'clock. I wouldn't rule out an isolated rumble of thunder, a small cell popping up somewhere in central New York. So if you have evening plans, keep an eye on the radar. Until then, I think you're good. The main attraction moves through overnight. By 9 o'clock, this line of strong showers and thunderstorms is just moving into the western Finger Lakes, starts to push through central New York around midnight, and that's when we're expecting the strongest and gustiest winds. Same goes for tomorrow morning. I think we'll still be into some lingering showers and thunderstorms as well. What this does do is bring a big old cool down. 74 degrees for a high tomorrow. Look at this, overnight lows back into the 40s. And I think the first full week of school for kids will actually feel more like back to school should. Seasonally cool mornings, one day in the 80s. Everything else is hanging out in the mid to low 70s and a few cool ones in the upper 60s.